So I watched the Benfica versus Arsenal game yesterday, and I'm gonna be honest. How did Arsenal not win the match? Like how they had so many good opportunities since in all of that. So before I start, just hit the likes, share, subscribe, all that shit, and yeah, I'll just jump right into it. So I watched the game yesterday, Arsenal versus Benfica during the Europa League clash, and if I'm being honest though, it was it wasn't really that exciting, but it was it wasn't that exciting as in terms of like play since they were like really passing it around most of the time, which is just pretty boring to see if we're being honest. But I mean, it's not like neither of the sides parked a bus or anything, because they were passing the balls around, especially Benfica, because they weren't parking the bus as I expected. They were trying to move the ball forward, and the only reason they just didn't score was just that they could not break down that back three formation of David Luiz, Gabriel, and I don't know who was the other guy playing. I'm not sure who was the other guy playing. I know. Okay, yes. I don't know really who was the back third, but I know there was like a guy, like there was someone back in the back three with them. I'm not sure if it was Bellerin or Shaka, but they were like playing us in the back three, and then yeah, they just Benfica couldn't shut that up. But to be honest, Arsenal either they couldn't really shut it out either. They couldn't shut out the Benfica defense as much. They outsmarted them with that goal they scored against the Benfica goalie though. Because like they left Cedric Suarez really unmarked here on like the left side of the box, and that gave him an opportunity to give a cross out. And then also the Benfica defenders, they did not mark Saka here in the box, and he just like let out a ball. He just let out a kick, and boom, it's in the net. 1-1. And yeah, that was really about it. Even though they tried to call it for offside, even though there was like literally no offside involved. So yeah. And then Benfica beforehand, they scored a goal through a penalty. And I'm gonna be fair, I didn't see that part if it was a penalty or not. But I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know. To be fair though, they were 1-1, so I don't think they really cared about it. As long as I'm pretty sure they're happy they got a draw out of it. They didn't lose the match. They're not at a disadvantage, even though they could lose on away rules if they do not score or nothing next game. But they were doing pretty great, I guess. But if we're being honest, though, Arsenal did so just not good. Because let's be fair, they were fine here, and players like Saka were fine. Suarez, he was decent, if anything, even though he could have like created much more chances. If I were to be honest, if I had to choose one player, like some players that were pretty bad for them, I would go with probably Aubameyang since he missed like a couple of great chances here. Reminds me of that game last year where Arsenal lost to Olympiacos, where he also missed a chance right there. It's like they give him the chances, but he's just not able to finish them, like convert them, and it's really sad considering that he's a very good player. He's a very good player, but it's just that I'm pretty sure it just wasn't his day. That sort of shit. And also, I have to say Granit Xhaka. I would say Granit Xhaka because I don't know what that man was doing. There was space. Like there were times where there was space in front of him where he could pass the ball, but instead he decided to play it back to the defense. And I'm just really wondering, why would you do that? Like, you're not in immediate danger. Just, play the fucking ball forward. Get it to the fucking forwards here. You know, just play the ball forward. Like, nobody's gonna fucking scare you or anything. That was just really confusing from him. Like, he just refused to, like, move the ball forward. And to be fair, every other player was just mediocre. Martin Odegaard, he was pretty mediocre. I didn't see anything outstanding by him. It's not like he's bad or anything. I don't think he was bad. It's just that he didn't do too much, but at the same time he didn't do too little. So, he was just okay. He gets a 6, as in 6 out of 10. And to be fair, the Benfica couldn't even they couldn't like really like like score either, other than the penalty. I mean, they could have gotten a goal with Everton, but he decided to take it on himself, like try to shoot it from far, and it just went above like the goalpost. To be fair though, I think like his strike partner, like the strike partner in front of him, I think he might have been in an offside position, so he probably just did it just because he literally had like no other choice, or they would have called it for offside, which is understandable and shit like that. And if we're being honest though, like yeah, Arsenal just should have won it. Like they kept missing too many opportunities right then and there. Like they had a very good chance of winning it. They had better quality chances than Benfica. It's just that literally they could not finish it. Like that was just sad. Now that's really about all the Arsenal game. Uh, and I was looking here in the Europa League results here, right here, and I'm gonna say the one that really surprised me the most was the Napoli 2-0 loss against Granada. That surprises me because, come on, this is the Napoli side that are in a title race in like Serie A, and I'm just wondering how the fuck did you lose 2-0 to like a Spanish side that contains the like of Kennedy, who was fucking shit at Newcastle. Like, how did you lose to them? And then to be fair, I mean, it's I don't know really how did they lose. Like this just confuses me, you know. I get it why. I mean, you have like no like Hervin Lozano in that lineup, you know, who is like a main goal threat, you know. But still, you should not lose 2-0 to Granada. Like that's just depressing if I'm being honest. And yeah, you know, I also have to give like respects to like Manchester United, who surprisingly, after coming out of like a 1-1 draw with West Brom in the Prem, managed to defeat 4-0 Real Sociedad side that had like the likes of David Silva, and you know, uh, Alexander Isak, I think, and then they also had who else? I mean, yeah, they just had players here who just were able to compete. But still, it just really surprised me. How did Real Sociedad like really just lose that bad? Like they lost 4-0 to a side, you know, that had Daniel James started, and Daniel James is, you know, he's not the best player that you would go with, but you know, it's just really surprising though to see like this is a Real Sociedad side who at the beginning of the La Liga season they were title contenders. They were like on a very high flight form, and you know right now they've fallen out of that contention. You know they can make a Champions League, just not title contenders. That's the thing. Yeah, that's just really surprising if we're being honest right then and there. Also, and if I'm being honest right here, I think that the Ajax versus the Lille game really surprised me a bit. Like I expected Lille to at least get a 1-0 draw, just due to the fact how they're doing in League One. But you know they surprised me. You know Ajax surprised me. You know they did pretty good to score. Also, I didn't see the match, but I do know that you know Edison Alvarez was good there. Like you know, um, he was pretty good there. And also, if I'm being honest though, I really hope that guy gets more game time because he was good as it's when I saw him back in the Mexican League with Club America. Like he was very good there. Like you know, he started. I just hope that man gets game time here. And if I'm being honest though, I also have to feel bad for Jonathan David because that man was brought from Belgium. You know, he was starting to settle in, and it's just this result. You know, it's just you know not gonna help him at all either. You know that sort of thing. Even though like after like it took him a while to adjust to French football and that you know he didn't really do much either here, but you know let's just hope that the guy can actually keep up and yeah, it's really all the other results that gave me a surprise. I mean, I'm surprised that Leicester didn't manage to win against Slavia Prague here. You know, they had the likes of Jamie Vardy up front, James Madison, Harvey Barnes, Mark Albrighton, Wilfred Ndidi, Tielemans, Johnny Evans, the Turkish centre backs, Peter Schmeich, not Peter Schmeich, Kasper Schmeichel. And yeah, like I'm just really surprised how they didn't win though. Like that's like a full strength team for them. Like you know they had like at least like seven like first team regulars. I don't know how they did not score or not. But, you know that's really about it. It's the magic of the Europa League. You know weird shit can happen. I mean there was a fucking time where who was it? Where basically who was yeah I think it was Inter Milan lost to Sevilla last year. I don't remember, but I do remember that Sevilla got to the finals like that. And you know, most of the time, like they don't do well in Champions League as much, but you know they do pretty fucking well in the Europa League. So you know anything can pretty much happen here. I mean, Benfica have gone to the final of this competition, so you know anything could really happen here. You know, I'm just hoping that if that next game, like you know, we get more normal results and shit like that. You know, that shit, normal game results, all of that, or either way, so what's the point? Like, you know, we just get goals on, get more goals, you know, because the results are pretty weird. That's really all I have to say here. Uh, yeah, it's really, just really all about to say. Yeah, so if you like the content for some reason, just hit the like, share, subscribe, you know, and then yeah, it's just pretty much about it. So I'll see you bastards later.